Hey there, YouTube. This is Sibbles and Bits at it again with another Arcanium run. Admittedly, I just finished doing an Arcanium run, died in Act 1, and then went to go procure the footage and found out that my mic had shorted yet again. So I need to figure out that problem. But I could have done what I did with the end of the last run, voiced over the video, but I figured that'd be a bit too scuffed. I will get the video out to you guys because we learned a lot of stuff and it was a very interesting run. I honestly don't know how we died. It was pretty much I probably did 2 misplays and just bad RNG on the second shard battle. We were absolutely demolishing. And it's kind of funny because for the prelude for that run, I was talking about how, okay, we've won 2 runs in a row since I've started recording Apex, right? But do not think that that's sustainable. In fact, I was quite impressed that we were able to get 2 runs in a row. Go ahead and look at our run history here. This is our loss, right up here. Our 2 wins in a row, and then just straight losses ever since we got into Apex difficulty. This is our Shield Heroes run, and then we immediately won Nightmare. So we're down to like maybe an 8% win rate once we got into Apex. And the tablet, if I was to screenshot my tablet, it'd be just about the same. So, in the video where I totally got smacked in Act 1, I braced you guys for the possibility that I would lose. Like I said, I'll figure out a way to get it to you guys. Maybe over the weekend, I'll just like clip together and just straight up take out all the explanation where you see my mouse just jumping around and you can see I'm clearly trying to explain something. Take out all those and just put like the pure run in there. Anyways, I decided that it would just be best to just record another start of a run. And my question for the video, since I can steal it again, is what is your favorite animal? Mine is the pig, because they are highly intelligent creatures. Definitely smarter than I am, for sure. They're very clean and sanitary. They are as smart as a cat, as loyal as a dog, and they have actual hair, not fur, so they're good for people with allergies like me. And they are the type of animal that will pretty much bond to you for life. And they live for like 20 plus years, assuming health and all that. Here. The one problem about having a pig for a pet, I also missed that part, is I do hope to one day have a pig for a pet, but that's probably not going to happen for a long while because... What? Frick it, right? Let's get weird. Pigs are high maintenance animals, right? If I can hardly take care of myself, I definitely shouldn't be trying to take care of a pig. They say that if you are within 1 month's income of losing your apartment, you probably shouldn't get a dog. Using that that logic, if I'm within 3 months of losing my house, I probably should not get a pig. But hopefully one of these days we can make that happen. So we've got a lot of blue damage in this run. And purple from Mozebus, so I don't think that we want to go here to Scorchlands. think we honestly want to go to Uzir. We'd also probably do Anador, but we have a ton of blue damage. Which I believe... 1, 2... Get the elusives. 3? So 1/3 of the enemies here are going to be resistant to blue. And they are the... like... heaviest damage dealers in here. So I would just rather not... gonna go to Uzir. That up. 10 enemies for an ability sounds good. Reroll this. Oy. Okay. Maybe if we get strong enough, we can go into Anador and upgrade to abilities, because that's a pretty good get. I'd like to get this loot cache as soon as possible. I don't necessarily want to use this oracle. This oracle could be used to upgrade to random cards, but our starting deck is sort of oof. I explained Angorn in the last video, but I'll have to do it again now. His Chrysalis is a 2-cost, 6 shield, 1 haste, which is pretty good because it's an apply 6 shield. You can put this on other people. And so Angorn is a very good support character. He's also able to apply backlash, which you may remember Shinzo was all about getting backlash on himself and then making enemies hit him. So if somebody's going to take damage, Angorn can give them backlash to deal damage. Unfortunately, this is pretty much his primary way of dealing damage besides stacking poison, and his poison card is actually like significantly worse than the generic 1-cost ranged poison card that does 3. This card is just straight up worse, but it gives him something to do when he has nothing else to do. Bramble Skin, applying 2 backlash is like nice. It's 2 damage when you take damage, but you don't really want to take damage necessarily anyways, unless you have a sufficient amount of shield. And I actually think that this squad, I'm going to try something weird with Lady and try and make her into a main tank. So I think we're actually going to be able to use this backlash. And especially the shield and haste. Haste, I don't think I've described. When you have haste, when you play a card, you will draw a card and then remove 1 haste. So Angorn, he doesn't really do anything himself. He actually has no direct damage besides, if you count applying poison direct damage. What he does is he accepts that he's in a support role, and he tries to make somebody else have the best game that they could possibly have. Sort of like in a MOBA, right? You got those hard supports that are absolutely useless by themselves. Without generic cards, he's never going to deal damage. And all of his abilities pretty much are about just huge impact on other people, not himself. And we're going to see if we can't utilize this haste, this shield, and this backlash, and especially with his ult. Lady has a couple of taunts, and so that's what we're primarily going to try and do, is just taunt enemies to her and play like a pseudo Shinzo. Of course, Mozebus, I swapped over to Arcane Tempest, so that can just deal AoE damage. Because if Lady is going to be primarily tanking and Angorn can't deal damage, this is our damage. And he's going to have to be our primary damage dealer yet again. But what I was saying before is we don't necessarily want to upgrade these cards. If I hit Runic Shell, like, it's okay, but I would rather not. Arcane Missile is like okay. You want a 1-cost to 4 damage. Magic Volley upgrades to deal +3 damage, which is decent. But honestly, like, all of our upgrades are not good. So we really would prefer not to upgrade any of the cards that we currently have. Maybe, I think our best upgrade actually is Chrysalis because it gets up to 2 haste. But it scales the shield pretty badly. All light enemies, doesn't really matter. What do you do again? 6 shield and an area multi-strike 6. Okay. Not bad. Bad. So, as a reminder, whenever Lady plays a blue card, she will gain 2 shield. And that's hopefully going to be our primary engine here. Got lots of range damage like on Mozebus. You want to keep the center person alive, preferably, so that he can attack him. So, we have Disarm here, which is going to interrupt, force them to draw a new card. However, you're going to notice here, it's actually not going to prevent him from releasing his Fury. He's going to go to a normal attack, which is perfectly fine. We're fine with that. But he still has a full Fury gauge. So next turn, he's going to grab his ulti, except we're not going to want to let him to do that. Build is honestly going to get in the way. But, so what Interrupt is mainly good for is not these enemies, the fast enemies. It's better for the slower enemies that take longer to ulti. Because they generally have one attack that you don't want them to hit you with. Be it a strong attack, or they're going to put, say, backlash on themselves. So you can tell them, just don't do that. And hopefully the card that they draw next is better for you. This is a problem. Not really a problem. Because... done. How do you like them apples? So that's kind of a good example of how we're going to try to do this. Destroy all shield is very good. Gaining ward is also very good because what ward does is it's like power, but for shields. So it'll increase all shielding I receive by 50%. And if Lady is going to try to be our tank, definitely, like, there's a better one than this, but it's retain gain ward, so whenever we have a good shielding turn, we can use it then. So we'll take it. Again, we don't really... like, even that card, right? It's 2 wards, so it'd last another turn. Upgrade that. I'd prefer not to, though. Let's hold off on that. We have a Luke Cage here that's going to give us a card as well. Molten Scorpion, what do you do? 3 backlash. Okay, so basically, the reason why I'm definitely looking at these again, I need to know what I don't want them to use, because I have Interrupt now. And this is... there's a lot of mental overhead that I've given myself this run, but I need to learn to memorize these attacks eventually, and so this is a good opportunity for that. I think I honestly just take this 4 damage because I think I forgot to show you Angorn's passive is that every turn he'll heal the person who took the most damage by 2. So he's going to spot heal that right up. Go ahead, we'll do that. So, I've been able to full block that. Of course, we're going to get burned for 3 here, and that's going to kind of suck. Generally speaking, I grab the ulti that shields in an area and cleanses on Angorn, and since I haven't done that, this will be a very interesting run because we have to solve for that. The ability to not have cleanse, but we've done relatively fine in other runs without it, so we might be okay. I honestly think, my heart of hearts, that's fine. Pop that. We'll pop that. Gladly take that 3 damage. He's done. Okay. They're very interesting cards. We just said that Mozebus is probably going to have to be our primary damage dealer. This is a way to get about that. Also, having a 0 cost is a, like, even if it's just 3 damage, the ability to... This allows us to have higher cost cards in his deck, because this will bring the average cost of a hand down, and we're more likely to be able to play this. So if we could potentially just try and scale draw on him instead, and he just always plays his best cards, and having access to Arcane Spark at all times is, again, just 3 damage. Rates to 5, which is pretty good for free. Giving Angorn a source of damage and then also gaining extra fury is another interesting idea. Because his ulti is 7, so this is going to give him 3 fury, and it upgrades to 4. So then he's always, well, not always, he's going to have easy access to his ultimate regularly. Of course, they'll retain 8 piercing damage, even if the enemy shields will be able to deal damage to it. I'm not... Well, this is a lot of damage. I'm certain that this is necessary. The piercing is great, but... You know what? I think that Solar Flare is actually the card that we buff. Nomad's Boots, 1 might whenever we dash or teleport. Currently, Lady's one, what am I trying to say? Her 1 blue card is a dash, so this is pretty good now. Otherwise, if we potentially get a better card, actually no, we still would want it because her best block card requires her to dash beforehand. So this just gives her a little bit of damage. Otherwise, reducing all poison, hex, and burn we receive by 1 is also pretty good if we're going to try and taunt. Especially since we don't have access to cleanse right now. And then of course, apply 1 burn whenever an enemy hits you. This would enable crit against burn, because we do not have any red cards to burn. Oh, actually we have Lady. He could burn. But generally speaking, we don't have any burn cards. But I would much rather just cover myself for all these enemies. Otherwise, it's Nomad's Boots. I don't think that's this run. rid of Fine Lash. Or he loses 12 health on Lock Elemental Shrine, we'll take it. And we're primarily trying to deal blue damage with Lady, so this isn't our ticket out of here. No one else has red cards. Could grab Scorching and play sort of a DOT game where we just drop all of our DOTs on the primary target and just hope to tank it. But I think having upgraded abilities is going to save us a lot, because then we can use our campfires and our oracles to get the ones that we don't upgrade or don't find upgraded. Tomb Crawler is going to be a little annoying. Mainly because he has the cleanse, so Angorn's poison isn't going to work. But, oh, he doesn't actually have his buff. Never mind. If he had his buff, then he would reduce all direct damage by 40%, so he would have to use Thorns in order to beat him, but we don't have to do that. Just take no damage for right now. We also like having Galvanize on the first turn. I like that he's not attacking. Lens, please. Thank you. Oh, he was sundered. Okay. This is interesting. This. Just sundered again. Come on, man. Kill this? Damn. Okay. Then we find you. Polar Fissure. It's not going to deal a lot of damage, but at least we get that 3. Damage is unfortunate. In fact, this fight's pretty much over, so just deal 3 less to us, please. Dangerous. That's not dangerous. We honestly give him overpower. That's a bit ridiculous. $15 damage. Relatively good. 15 for 2 is actually very good. My apologies. Retain. I think we almost take this. This could be very good though. Problem is that we haven't leveled, so we don't take... We can't really put this in our hand right now. Well, we were talking about cleanse. Ice barrier is pretty good too, but we're gonna need this. Do we pivot and make him our primary tank? Pretty funny, but I don't think we do that. Less? No. Legitimately grab this. We're also pretty low health right now. What does that upgrade into? 9 HP? Actually such a weird start. Yeah, that 15 damage on Angorn wasn't good. Crazy. This run really wanted me to make Angorn our primary damage dealer. But this is still defense for him, so we'll take it. At a good rate too. Did I say damage dealer? I meant it wants us to make him our tank. Primary damage dealer would be pretty crazy. I honestly think we take this fight, we level up the camp, upgrade 2 random cards, and we fight. Thundered, that's great. How are you dying? Oh, because you're hitting him. Can't let you do that, though. Oh, that's terrible. I misplayed that one. I feel like we can build this team into something. We're just not there yet. Good. Person who needs to use more energy. Probably Angorn, actually. He has Solar Flare and can use all 4 AP. Access to his ultimate. They're both good. Got one of these now. I think we're gonna take 2 elites. Let's get this. Show me where all shrines are. Light shrine, elemental. Hit. Well, at least we know where they are. That one will be easy to get. Elemental will be slightly harder. Unlock a shrine. I think we can take this guy. These enemies gotta go though. Basically, he's just gonna splash his shield every turn. So as long as we can take out these enemies, this guy isn't anything. That. That. Don't really want to do, but He had too much overload. That's crazy. Draw on him. Rid of the immune. Now we're in trouble. Well, that's one down. Still gain. Ew. Let's go. Sorry for the silence, guys. This is activating all neurons right now. All 3 of my neurons. That's what we wanted. Perfect. All right. That actually went a lot better than I thought it would. Arc Skin Plus. I explained it in the other video. But since our max hand limit is 5, we're especially with this upgrade, we're shielding as much as somebody's 2 cost off of a 1 if they only have 1 card in their hand. Everybody draws 3. This card is insane. This is crazy. Spell all enemies at the start of each turn is very helpful. I think we take this. Those thorns enemies that we don't want, get rid of them. The only thing is that technically we almost had always dispel with Mozebus. Now we definitely don't have to worry about that. Mozebus needs cards, by the way. Stop giving some to the others. No, I say. Days is very good. I think since we don't really build might, get rid of dual strikes. Getting much closer to that tanky lady that we were looking for before. There's our taunt. Dare I say, feeling good about another shard battle. We don't have minions, we don't care about his ability. Deals damage in an area which is very difficult to deal with. He does have a multi-strike ability that we can abuse. He also dispels and weakens us. I don't think that we make this fight last a long time. That was probably the worst guy that we could run into. Going to dispel. That's relatively fine though. Ooh. I should have done this beforehand. That's a lot of damage. thought. Right, we didn't take it. Whoa. Not do that for a turn. That we will have them alternate. I don't know if that's good. There's no way that we can shield our whole team like that. Good. I should have done that the other way. He could have used Radiance on himself. Now Arcane Missile's going to do no damage because he's been weakened. Much about it. Solved. Love to multi-strike me, but you didn't. I might pay for that hubris. Oh, we're fine for today. Oh. Have any dash stuff, but this would be pretty good for that. Because the draw one card would pretty much make this free, and then it's just a free dash for mobility. Honestly, that alone might be worth it. Pull blue cards, we get 2 shield out of it. This will actually make more enemies target her. We want that. We're still not grabbing anything from Mozebus. It's a shame. I should be ashamed. Anyways, that one went a lot better than our last run, take my word for it. If you have any feedback, misplay alerts, comments, questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. Until next time, I'll catch you around.